The biggest mystery from the monster anime and manga is what happened to Johan after he disappeared from the hospital bed. Did he die? Did he escape? Was Tenma imagining him the whole time? There's a lot of speculation. But at the end of the day, the author Urasawa left the ending up to the audience's interpretation of Johan, depending on how you viewed his psychology and motives. But let me show y'all the subtle hints dropped throughout the story describing what might have happened to Johan. Ultimately, it all comes down to Tenma talking to the unconscious Johan after he spoke to Johan's mom, the real monster. Johan's mom gave Tenma Johan's real name, and this holds so much importance. Johan's whole character revolves around his sense of identity. He couldn't distinguish his memories from Nina's. His whole life, he was a nameless monster. That's why when he read that horror children book, he started having flashbacks on who he truly is. There's a lot of hidden symbolism within the storytelling of this book. Like how after some time, the monster dispersed into two. One went to the east and one went to the west. The monster that went to the east went to manipulate and devour people, which is obviously meant to depict Johan. But the other monster that was content with its life and trauma just simply moved on, which is representing Nina. Eventually, when they met again, the monster from the east had devoured the monster from the west, which signifies how Johan lost all of his sense of identity and took on his sisters instead. But ultimately, Urasawa was showing us that the real monster is Johan's mom. The conclusion of Monster is all about humans making other humans monsters. It's a never-ending cycle. In Johan's mom's eyes, Bonaparte was the monster since he took her children away. But in Johan's eyes, his mom was the real monster since him and Nina were dressed the same and she couldn't distinguish which one she should give up to sacrifice. After the library fire incident, Detective Lunch said Johan wasn't human. He was a demon for not leaving any trace of his existence. He said it is impossible for a human to commit such an act. Which is why this conclusion is beautiful. Johan left the bed undone and the window open. When Johan learned his real name from Tenma, he finally got his sense of identity. He willingly left his trace like any normal human would, signifying he's not a monster anymore. So there's two options. Either Johan escaped from the hospital and now he's living a normal life not being a murderer since he found his true purpose. Or Tenma was just imagining that Johan's still alive this whole time. Don't forget he got popped in the head. He's probably dead. RIP. There's a manga known as Another Monster where we get some insight on what might have happened to Johan after he escaped from the hospital. And also about another monster, a little demonic ass girl that's taken over Germany, so make sure to follow your boy if you want to learn more.